Hello, everybody. This is Richard Hatch, and you are listening to Hellblazer.biz. So say we all.
So good morning or good afternoon, Richard, I believe it is for you over in LA.
Thank you. What time is it here? It's almost 1:30.
Yep. It's 9:30 in the evening for me at the moment.
Oh, okay.
On the other side of the world, virtually.
I've been to England many, many times.
Oh, yes. I can't wait for you to come back.
Have you been to America, by the way?
I have, yes. Been to Florida. In fact, that's sadly...
Florida is America.
I know, no.
Florida is America.
It's a Disney vibe.
That's a foreign country. I'm kidding, but...
I've stopped in Chicago overnight, and I've been to New York as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, New York's fun.
New York's amazing.
So you haven't been out to the West Coast, then?
No, I haven't. It's somewhere I really, really want to go to.
Well, then you haven't been to America yet. I'm kidding.
That's all right. Well, I'm hoping my show takes off enough that I might actually get to go out there with it. So.
Hey, why not?
Exactly.
Anything is possible, right?
Oh, yeah. Live the dream.
Yep.
Excellent. So, as you know, I've got some questions for you, and we're just going to talk about and get to know you a bit better and see what's going on at the moment for you.
Okay.
Cool. So, shooting right back to the beginning, what kind of decided? What was the deciding factor for you to want to become an actor in the first place?
Well, I mean, I always loved movies, and I always loved arts, music, performances of any kind, sports, gymnastics. I just always loved those areas of human, achievement. And so I never thought in a million years that I would be doing something like that, but I certainly started, kind of exploring the more creative areas of life when I was pretty young. My grandmothers were piano players and piano teachers and started teaching me classical piano, so I learned classical piano for several years when I was young, started playing the guitar, started singing, writing my own songs, and then ultimately I was going to college to become an architect, and I was in a very intense oral interpretation class, which I had no idea what that was, but it was the only elective available to me, and it was all about getting up and giving speeches, which just totally terrified me. Mm-hmm. And I basically was failing the class until I saw an article written in the sports page one day after the assassination of Kennedy, which kind of dates me, but right. Literally we were asked to bring in an article of our own, and I brought in this article that moved me very deeply, and I read it, and as usual, I could hardly be heard, and I had my head in my paper, and everybody in the class were basically actors from the theater department.
Yeah.
And I think they, would go to sleep or check their watches as soon as I was going to get up. Mm. And this particular day, it was a little bit like, Dead Poets Society. I really tapped into the piece, and all of a sudden I started speaking out, enunciating, making eye contact, speaking with a lot of passion, energy, emotion, and had a transcendent experience, which didn't lead me to becoming an actor. It just led the actors in the class to say, you should come to the acting department, you should be on stage, you should do something. And I go, oh, thank you very much, but no, that's okay. And it was a few years later that after going through a lot of deep, dark, challenging, things in my life happening to me, mm-hmm. Somebody recommended I go to an acting class, which they said it would help me. I didn't think of it as becoming an actor, but it was the Eric Morris Actors Workshop, basically Stanislavski, the method of sorts, and it kind of was a doorway out of the abyss, out of the darkness. Mm-hmm. Taught me how to get up in front of a room, to express my feelings and emotions, thoughts and ideas, how to be more comfortable with who I am, how to make connection to people. I know that doesn't sound like an acting class, but it really was a preparation for the acting, because in that class, it wasn't about hiding from yourself. It was about building a stronger relationship to you, and then from there, you could use your imagination to build and create bridges to any character that you wanted to bring to life. So for me, it laid the foundation for everything I teach, lecture, and teach about the country these days. I do it my own way, of course, but part of what I do, in addition to acting, writing, directing, and I'm directing projects, I'm writing projects, I'm developing games, I'm teaching and lecturing at colleges, universities, and I have my own workshop, which is called the Richard Hatch Actors Lab. I call it the Richard Hatch Actors Lab and Filming Workshop because we do a lot of writing original material, developing pilots, presentations, shorts, exploring everybody's creative vision. Okay. It's all about unlocking people's potential and opening up that doorway. So I'm involved in a lot of things these days. It's a very fertile, very creative, dynamic time in my life right now.
That's absolutely fantastic. I've actually got a question later on about your Actors Lab, but I'll bring it forward since we're talking about it right now. It does seem really great. I mean, I've seen it online, I've seen you sharing it, and I've seen some of the clips when I've subscribed to your Facebook, etc. And it looks. I mean, I'd love to come to it, to be honest. It's really good for you.
Thank you.
Your experience that you've got to be able to pass that back to other people and new people coming into the scene, and like you say, it's not just with the acting, it's with the directing and the whole of the creation of the whole experience, so to speak. And a kind of question which is sent in to me by a young actress friend of mine she's just been in a UK film called Pandorica, and it's her first ever film. She would like to know what kind of more advice you'd give to someone who's an up-and-coming actor or actress, or just starting their
Well, number one, there's no one way of acting, no one process, no one technique. One should explore all the different approaches to acting to find the one, or maybe several, that basically help you develop your own process, your own way of acting, because it's all about how do I, and this is a big one, how do I access a deeper level of my talent? And then how do I learn how to make more powerful decisions and choices about how I approach the material? And then how do I get out of my head and get into that deeper, more intuitive, more spontaneous, edgy place where acting and performing really goes to a level that it's moves, touches, creates memorable performances, and blows people away. And that's a challenging one because most actors, they act out of their head. They analyze and try to figure it all out, which is, for me, I understand why people do that, but it's a way of trying to be in control, to make sure I'm going to be good. It's basically like painting by the numbers. If you wanted to teach people how to copy a painting and do something that assimilates a masterpiece, you teach by the numbers. If you want to be a masterpiece, then you have to move beyond the logic, move beyond the being in control, and learn how to unlock that deeper, more creative, intuitive place, and learn how to connect to material in a more powerful way. So again, to each their own. Everybody's a little different. Some are more intellectual, some are more emotional and vulnerable type people. But you got to find a way that's going to allow you to use more of your talent and bring your material to life in a more powerful way. So I would explore different classes till you find somebody who really understands you, really gets where you're blocked. Because all actors are blocked in some way. They're inhibited in some way. There's areas that they're uncomfortable going into. And so you need somebody who can really help you to move through those areas where you may be holding back, blocking, inhibiting the character that you're playing. Again, less acting, more experiencing. And then the next part of it is, and this is a big one for today, I teach the business of the art. Okay. I talk to filmmakers, I do Skype coaching sessions with actors, with writers, directors. I also do Tony Robbins type personal life coaching as well. I've always been doing this work in and around my activities because at heart I'm a teacher, artist, and I love doing all of it. But again, you got to learn the business of the art, and you have to be proactive in how you approach the industry. You can't just expect some agent to make it happen for you, and you have to go out there and create. In a sense, you've got to create opportunities for you to show the industry what you're capable of, because so often people don't see it. You don't get cast in the right projects, you don't get the right opportunities, and even when you do, it's almost pulling teeth to get that piece of film on your acting reel. And most acting reels are very boring and put people to sleep because most actors are not able to do their best work because they don't either have the right role or not working with really good actors or a great director. Or, nobody saw what they could really do when they get cast in a part that's not really perfect for them. But that's where actors have to be proactive in developing their own material, collaborating with other people, and putting together a short, some kind of a project that allows you to play a character that will really bring your talent to the next level and make it memorable so people actually will remember you when they look at your reel. And you want to get that's why I film everything in class. We write all original material. We use some traditional material, but we're always improving, stretching, growing, evolving, whatever scene we're doing. We're always looking to take it to the next level, develop it into a pilot, a presentation, go to film festivals. But you're getting footage, film on your reel that shows you doing the most exciting work you've ever done. And my big talent is I can see where people are holding back, where they're limiting their ability to connect in a more powerful way to materials, to their choices, to the character they're playing. And so I help them take it to a level where it's going to really help them break through. And then the next step is life. Life affects acting. Acting affects life. How you grow as an actor affects how you grow as a person, and all your inhibitions, fears, insecurities as a person gets in the way of your business, your art form, and succeeding out there in life. So I work on the whole person in my classes. But again, actors have to really take the bird in hand and stop waiting for other people to do it, waiting for other people to recognize what you've got, because most people are half blind. They don't see who you really are. I'm sure most people can attest to that. So you got to show them by putting together projects that really illuminate and highlight what's unique and special about you and showing you doing the most exciting work you've ever done. But that also takes an actor who's asking deeper questions and really is willing to learn and go on the journey of self-empowerment, where they basically explore a lot of different material, and then they really find out where their strengths and weaknesses are, what is special and unique about them, and how to bring that out in the most powerful way. And like I said, most actors are kind of blind about themselves. They see other people maybe, but they don't see themselves. And as we all know, most of us make horrible choices in just about every area of our life until we've, caused ourselves so much pain, so much heartache that we finally either wake up or we totally self-medicate ourselves to sleep, one way or the other. But there, like I said, it's a new day in the industry, and it's a day for self-responsibility, being proactive, and learning the business of the art. So the business side of the equation protects the artist side. Right? Right.
Yep. Excellent. That's got to be probably one of the best pieces of advice I've
heard. Thank you. You can go to richardhatch.com and get linked into all the things that I do, my workshop, and we also, my YouTube channel. If you go up on the YouTube channel, you'll notice we're going to start putting up scenes because we film everything in class. And then, like I said, I am available for Skype coaching sessions. I do all of that, but you can find out everything at richardhatch.com.
Excellent, thank you. I'll actually probably take that up as well, because I've been cast in Robin Hood next year. It's a new...
For what?
It's in the UK. It started out as a web TV show, and it's in pre-production at the moment. So it's like a female Robin Hood. It's a different take on the whole story. It's obviously still medieval. It's still that sort of setting, but there's a female Robin. There's a lot of twists and turns in it, and I've been cast as the jailer through, obviously just in the short speaking role for the pilot. I'm hoping that I can learn enough by the time it comes to film.
Oh, you're an actor at heart.
I started out acting. I loved it when I was in school, and I stopped with my parents pushing me into a different direction. And so I'm loving. I want to try and bring that back now. But I loved it.
Cool.
So that's one thing I'm trying to get back into. So I will be subscribing to your channel more.
Well, by the way, when I was in where was I? Scarborough, England, for a convention recently.
Yeah.
I was over at the acting school there, the Acting Institute, and I did an acting workshop there. So the next time I come to England, I'm hoping that I can set up a workshop. So hopefully maybe you'll be in the area and you'll come over and take a workshop with me.
Definitely. If you're, I'll make sure I keep an eye out when you are over. I'll sign up for that.
All right,
for sure.
cool.
That'd be
Great.
excellent. Cool. So kind of going back as well, when you're saying you're teaching and you need someone to sort of help you learn there and inspire you. Did you have any sort of inspirations? Who was your when you were young?
I would say, I mean, my first acting class with Eric Morris probably set the foundation for everything. It taught me how to break through my own walls, insecurities, fears, how to tap into a deeper level of my own being, my own creativity, my own imagination, how to use more of myself. Because, wherever you're blocked, wherever you hold back as a person, and if you do the same thing as an actor, then you're inhibiting the character's expression. What that character would normally do, you're holding it back because you, the actor, are uncomfortable.
Yep.
And you want to learn how to let go and learn how to allow that character to take flight, and let your own creativity, energy, emotion channel in to that character through the auspices of the character's background, subtext, motivations, all those different things. But again, like I said, most of us live a life where we're protecting ourselves. We don't have the foundation for a lot of confidence, so we're always, protecting ourselves, building walls. We have trouble communicating. And part of acting, the big part of acting is being empathetic, being able to empathetically step into another mindset, another way of looking through somebody's eyes, seeing the world through their eyes and experiencing what they go through, and being able to build a bridge from you to that character that you want to bring to life. And there's a million ways to do it. Every actor has to find how they can do it best.
Yep.
But anyway, the point I'm making is that there's a million ways, but I find acting is a process not only as an artistic expression, but, it helps us all find our own voice in the world. Helps us to open up and tap into who we are and what we have to say, the things we believe in. That's why I encourage so much writing. And then learning the business of the art empowers you so that you're not like so many artists, sitting there waiting for everybody to somehow believe in you and to, take care of you and make everything happen for you. And that just doesn't work in the world anymore. And it doesn't work for us either. We have to all realize that we have amazing abilities and talents, and all that programming and bad crap we bought into about ourselves is just about completely untrue. It's just all a bunch of interpretations and perceptions, and we got to break through all that crap to free our being, to be who we are in the world, to show up in the world and let the talent and abilities and creativity that we have in and out. So that's the challenge. So I love working on all that. That's a part of what I do in my own life, and it's what I help other people to do.
Fantastic, thank you. Very brilliant, insightful answers. The next kind of question I've got now is, it's probably going to ages me as well as everybody else now. It's, can you believe it's almost 40 years now since Battlestar Galactica first aired in the film?
Yeah,
and it's still, I think it's still as popular now as it is back then, to be honest.
Well, every part of the world, some shows are iconic. So Star Wars is iconic. Star Trek is iconic. Battlestar Galactica is iconic. And then you have other shows like, Farscape and, Firefly, even though it was only on for like 12 episodes, is iconic.
Yep.
Although I would say the top three are Star Trek, Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica, I would say are the top three up there. But I'm sure some people would argue with me. But nevertheless, it's been 40 years, and I love being in the new version of the Battlestar, playing Tom Zarek.
You were?
That was probably a far more challenging role for me, far more complex, challenging role. But 35 years later, they were writing deeper, darker stories about surviving in space, and as an actor, that was a complete joy to be able to step into that kind of a creative environment where you're really delving deeply into the life and death, surviving a Holocaust type of dramatic scenario, dramatic foundation. So I love both shows for different reasons, and I see the actors of both shows all the time at conventions, and those were two amazing groups of actors, and it was a big family of creative artists who really got along quite well,
Yeah.
and inspired each other. And so, but I just came back from a convention with Dirk Benedict, who was Face on the A Team, and also Starbuck, obviously, and Herb Jefferson, who played Boomer, and we were at a toy show in Vegas. I tried to get over. I usually go to the Star Trek convention, but this year was the 50th anniversary, and it was so packed, and all the dealers had taken up the room that there was no room for me this year.
Oh, no.
But I'm a huge Star Trek actor. I mean, I'm a Star Trek fan, and I love original Trek. I love Next Gen. I love all the Star Trek shows, the movies I love. So I was hoping to go over there, but I was stuck over at the other arena with the toy show, which everybody was very nice. They did a great job, and it was fun to catch up with everybody. But I miss being, with all my Star Trek people, and I'm part of a Star Trek indie project called Exonar, which is probably a groundbreaking indie Trek film on the level of a studio film, made with all professional actors and professional crew on a level that's never been attempted before. They've raised close to $2 million after 3 or 4 Kickstarter campaigns, and they were getting ready to shoot the movie. They had shot a 20-minute intro piece, which got a lot of attention, and even Adrian Lynn, I think, or J.J. Abrams and the new director of the new Star Trek movie both said very good things about Exonar, and they were very supportive of Exonar, but CBS and Paramount initiated a lawsuit to stop the production. So right now they're litigating the case, and I'm only an actor in Exonar, so I'm not on the production. I'm not part of the team, but I know that they have a law firm that's handling the case pro bono. So we're hoping that they can find a way to create a win-win scenario that will help, fan films continue to grow and evolve, which they're doing. Every fan film that I know out there, Star Trek Continues, New Voyages, all those Star Trek fan films are growing to bigger and better levels, and I think the new parameters put out by Paramount were so tight and limiting that it said no professional actor can be in them, no Star Trek actor can be in them, they can't be longer than 15 minutes, and they've totally wiped out all the Star Trek fan films by laying out these very rigid, strict parameters. But I'm hoping that they can come to some kind of understanding that will support both the fan films and not, threaten Star Trek. Violate Star Trek, Paramount or CBS, because the fans and Paramount have to work together. Fans are the ones who actually kept the Star Trek iconic, this definitive, wonderful show about life and the universe going during a time when nobody seemed to care about it. And ultimately, I think they're the ones who pushed the show to come back on the air, and they're the ones who ultimately help support Next Gen, which ultimately relaunched the Star Trek universe. And now they're trying to do the same thing with Battlestar. They're doing a movie being developed with some really big producers, that have won Academy Awards and have worked on numerous really big franchises and films, and I can't even think of all of them right now. Social Network is one. I know that the director from the last 3 Hunger Games is very interested in directing it. Excellent. And they have a woman. They've had several different writer, director, producers, including Bryan Singer, trying to put it together, and it keeps shifting and changing, but that happens with all projects at studios. It takes a while to get them through. In fact, my good friend Tony Eldridge, his project, The War Magician, based on a real life historical event in World War II, I believe, where they tricked the Germans by creating some illusionary, a battlefield where they bombed the wrong area. Anyway, the point is, it's been 14 years, and he finally, after multiple directors, Tom Cruise, Ridley Scott, all these people coming in, going out, ultimately now he's got Cumberbatch starring in it, and also one of the major producers, and it just got funded by Studio Canal, I believe. Nice. And so it's very exciting to realize that some projects take a while, but I think Battlestar will be relaunched as a franchise. I think after the success of Star Wars, with the original cast coming back, they said, we have a franchise possibility with Battlestar, and I know everybody has their own beliefs, but for me, there's an endless series of stories to be explored in the Battlestar universe, traversing the unknown of space, trying to find a new homeland that can create just amazing stories. Oh, give me a break. Oh, great. All right. Oh, well. So, that's the story of that.
That's fantastic. I mean, I totally agree with you on Battlestar. I think that it's limitless with the amount of stories that you could have. You just think of the expanse of the universe.
People go, well, they've already explored the whole premise. What do you mean they've explored the whole premise? Star Trek has been out there for 35 years, coming up with new stories, exploring new ideas and new elements. And Battlestar, even more powerfully, can be going into areas and places psychologically, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, from new, insightful directions, opening up, the dramatic possibilities to infinity. Battlestar is one of the most powerful, iconic, unlimited topographies, dramatic topographies for exploring great stories. So, again, like I said, people that think something's already been explored, that's because their own imagination is very limited and narrow. They're not seeing the larger picture. They've made series that went on for 10 years of stories that, for me, were not very deep, not very insightful, didn't have much to say, and yet they continued to tell stories for 10 years, and fans supported those shows. So imagine having a show that actually has something to say about the world, about life, about humanity, about us, which is what Battlestar has to do. And then I'm starring in a new movie, which I start filming Sunday with Gigi Edgley from Farscape, Chloe Dykstra, John Dykstra, the famous guru, CGI guru from Star Wars, Battlestar, all the Spider-Man movies. Anyway, I'm starring with her daughter, and then Leah Carnes from the new Battlestar, and we start filming on Sunday for a month, and that's going to be a amazing project. My friend Bryn is directing it, who's absolutely brilliant. And he also directed me in Cowboys and Engines with Malcolm McDowell, which is a 20-minute steampunk pilot. And so there's lots of cool things coming up.
Is that the film's Diminuendo? Is that correct? The one you?
Yeah, Diminuendo it's called. It's about it deals with 2040 and it deals with some AI technology, and it's a very powerful story of a man losing everything when he loses the woman that he loves, and then he has to, in a sense, come back after falling from grace and losing it all. He gets pulled back into having to relive and work through everything that took him down, and it's a powerful, dramatic story of a man trying to find peace, resolution, and redemption. Very, very powerful story. And I also just filmed a movie called Enchanted Cottage, which is the third remake of a beautiful movie based on a play. Jordan Maguire played the young girl back in the 30s, and we just remade that. I played the father in that, and oh god, and I'm doing a wonderful piece called Personal Space with Tamo Pennicott from the new Battlestar, Tamo, and also Nikki Klein. It's about a ship on a journey, 1,200-year journey to another star system, and they took off in 1991 after Reagan's big thing about space. And essentially, there's rotating crews that will cover the 1,200 years, and they all are in cryo.
Right.
And every crew is 5 or 6 man crew, works for 25 years, and then goes into cryo until they get there. So, and the cryo is based on real cryo, which is over 200 people right now are in cryo, including Walt Disney.
True.
And apparently, it's a very painful process to go in cryo, and it's a very painful process to wake up. So it explores this whole thing. I'm the outgoing commander that's supposed to go to sleep, and I don't trust the new commander, Nikki Klein, coming in, who I don't think knows enough. And so I'm staying awake longer than I'm supposed to, causing havoc aboard the ship. And it deals with logistics. It deals with a computer that's the psychologist on board that deals with everybody's problems, and we all have this personal relationship with the computer, but we don't realize what they're actually doing back on Earth is filming a reality show, and that we're part of this reality show. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a really, really cool concept in many senses. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, you've also got the Great War of Magellan as well, which is a graphic novel, web series, and an online game too.
I have a graphic novel coming out. I have a novelization finally coming out on Great War of Magellan. I call it GWOM for short. GWOM. We have an electronic game being developed. By Jade Lens, this young company just out of university. And I'm going to have a web series and to launch the novel and launch the game. And that's just the beginning of many, many things. But I also, like I said, I'm part of so many different projects right now. It's really exciting to be able to direct. I directed this 20-minute movie presentation to raise money for this wonderful period piece called White Wings. I directed a infomercial for the securities industry, which I wrote, directed, produced, and hosted for a law firm. And I'm, like I said, everything I'm doing, I'm helping my class do. Everybody, we're working on, like I said, developing the business side of the equation along with up-leveling the artistic side of it so that you're no longer at the mercy of the business, no longer at the mercy of other people, and you learn how to put things together. Too many artists are really good at coming up with an idea, and if they're lucky enough to get it even made, they don't know how to sell it, they don't know how to market it, they don't know how to distribute it, they never learn the business of it, and their hands are tied behind the back, and too many gifted, talented people fall to the wayside because they never learn the business of the art. So we work on all of those aspects of it.
Excellent, fantastic. That kind of does bring me towards the end of the of our chat, sadly, because I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting to you, Richard.
Oh, thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything final that you'd like to say to the fans and the listeners? A
couple of things. I'm doing a cruise that is coming up with Dirk Benedict, which will be going from Florida to the a 4-day cruise, Battlestar cruise. So that's coming up in November. You can go to richardhatch.com to learn about that. Or you can go on my Facebook page, and you can go over to my Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Obviously, I have a personal and a fan page on Facebook. And richardhatch.com will give you lots of information about what's going on. What else? The YouTube channel. Please check out my YouTube channel, the Richard Hatch Actors Lab. It's got a YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see excerpts from the class. You'll be able to see blogs and coming from me and insights into the acting experience, the writing experience, the producing and directing experience. Ultimately, I'm evolving it into a reality show that deals with the underbelly of what it takes to make it in Hollywood. So there's just lots of really cool things that I'm doing. But real quick, I'm going to Fort Collins Comic-Con in Colorado coming up the weekend of the 26th, 27th. Going to Dragon Con, I think the first part of that's in Atlanta. That's an amazing convention.
There's so many good things about that.
Yeah, that's in Atlanta. Then I'm going to SpaCon in Arkansas coming up, and then Classic Comic-Con in Modesto. So I have a bunch of those events coming up, and I think that's just about it, unless you, again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Is it Pinterest or Pinterest? Yes, Pinterest.
Pinterest, I think, yeah.
Pinterest, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I'm in LinkedIn as well.
Excellent.
So there's many ways to reach me, and if you're interested in, like I said, Skype coaching for writing, for directing, for acting, or personal, your life coach. You know, I do a lot of life coaching. I used to teach Tony Robbins type seminars, 3-day events at hotels. It's for me, it's from the time I was a child, I always saw people's potential. And it's always been a gift of mine to help people. You can't do it for people, but I really support people and assist people in finding their gold, finding their heart and soul, finding their talent, and then helping them to build a bridge and leverage their talent into the world, which is the key to success.